Jan, so all yours.
Good afternoon, everybody. Sorry you're all on screen, the ones who are on, because we've got technical issues in the building. So hopefully it'll be fixed by the next meeting. So I'll start the agenda. Agenda item 1, apologies for absence, Gareth.
Yeah, I got apologies from Finola, Gwel, Glyn Davis, Bethan Dedney, Lynn Martin and Wayne Jenkins.
Thank you. Agenda item 2, disclosure of personal and prejudicial interest for members. Does anybody know? Agenda item 3, the minutes. I hope you've all had a read. So I take your silence as read then. Thank you. Agenda item 4, Armed Forces Cabinet Regional Project won't be read because Bethan is not here. Agenda item 5, an update from the MOD Captain Hugh Williams.
Yep. Hi, Wendy. Yep. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. Cool. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. We can't see you. Hugh.
This camera's blinking, playing up. Not to worry. It's better that you don't see me. There you are. So, okay. So, I'll give a quick update from an army perspective. Then I can see that Rob's online, and I know that Andy is making his way. I'm just having a look. Yeah, Andy Davis is just making his way home. He is from a funeral, so he'll hopefully be online within the next few minutes or so.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. So from an army perspective, 223 Squadron, that's us down in Swansea. We continue to provide support to many agencies in the local area, and it's good that we've been asked to support events such as open days and providing activity sessions for local charities and groups. Recently, so last week, we supported a group called Mind Eyes. So it's harmonise, but with a mind in the middle being highlighted. And this was an initiative to bring non-British people together to build networks and relationships. So we had them in here for the day, put several different events on for them to work as a small team. There was 21 of them, really enthusiastic, absolutely lovely bunch of 16 to 18-year-olds. And it was good that we could offer them something there to act as a bit of a team building session. And then one of the next events that we're going to be supporting is on the 29th with Swansea Veterans Hub, where we're supporting their open day, taking our trailer up there and a vehicle and our recruiting team. So they'll be there to assist there. This morning, myself, Wendy, Andy Morgan, and quite a few of us, we attended the most recent military support meeting. So that's looking at what not just the Army, Navy, and Air Force Reserve assist with, but also the cadet services, because they're key to a lot of what goes on in this area. And this is where we look at the plan to support future events. Points that I covered, the closest one for us is next week, which is Month of the Military Child. So on the 25th of April, we've got about 46 service children coming down to the Grange again, which we're looking forward to. Age ranges from about 6 years old, I think, Emma, up to year 9, so 13, which will be great. So they're all coming here again with lots of events. I won't steal Emma's chips. I'll leave her brief on that. But we're looking forward to having all the kids here, and you know it'll be a good day. The next event then, and it's a big one, especially for the veterans community, because I'm going to try and pull some veterans into this. Okay, and that's the King's Coronation Services. So these are going to take place on the 30th of April. Gareth, don't go worrying about trying to scribble everything down, mate, and record it. I've got it all typed out. I'll send it to you. All right. So so 30th of April. there's an event going to take place in Neath in the morning of Sunday the 30th, and then in the afternoon at St Mary's. I'm finding it difficult to get Army reservists to come to these events because they don't get paid. However, that's by the by. There will be some of us there in uniform, but there's an opportunity now for veterans to come to the events as well. I've reached out to the very small network that I've got of veterans here in the Swansea area and Neath area. So my email will be attached into the minutes of this meeting. So if you would like to attend as a veteran, I need your names, okay, and which venue you would like to attend at. So Neath will be in St David's Church in Neath. And we all need to be seated by 1000 hours. And then the Swansea event will be in St Mary's, and we all need to be seated by 1400. Please don't turn up without an invite, okay? Because it'll be embarrassing if we haven't got enough seats, or if I haven't given you the green light to turn up. Okay, so that'll be coming out with these minutes. Okay, so please get in touch with me if you'd like to come along to those services. The next event that we discussed then is a big one in most of our diaries, and that's the Armed Forces Week, which is held between the 19th to the 25th of June this year. And in particular, two key dates within that week. The 19th of June will be the flag raising in both Neath and Port Talbot civic offices at 1100 hours. Again, if you would like to come to that, please turn up, donned in your best bib and tucker. Please, yeah, feel free to come along to that. The more people we can get there at these civic buildings, the better. And then for Swansea, the Swansea event will take place on Saturday, the 24th of June at the Guild Hall. And there'll be a flag raising procession or a flag raising event and a short service. So at the meeting this morning, they asked if everyone who would like to attend that on the 24th could be seated by 10:30, and then the service will commence at 1100 hours. And again, it'd be great to see as many people who support the veterans community and support the armed forces, and in particular our veterans and reserve forces as well. So I'll be trying to G up the reserve forces side of life, but if you can get the veterans along there, the more the merrier. And then the big one that is starting to look really good is the Wales National Air Show. That takes place 1st and 2nd of July down on the promenade down the seafront there in Swansea. From a military perspective, all three services being represented, Navy, Army and the RAF, more RAF than the other two because it's an air show. I haven't got an aeroplane. But, you know, the military village is growing, which is good. And last year we saw real benefits from us being there at Swansea. And the recruiting office saw quite a better level of footfall, as did the recruiting website that we run as well. So that's good news there. Coming to the end, so I'm also trying to engage with other local groups as well. I briefed this last time in January. I just think it's important to re-emphasize it, that we are here to assist with the events that you put on. And yeah, if we can be of use, just ask us. Our calendar is filling up. It is quite busy. I've only got a very small team, but if we can help, we really will. Okay, so that's me from an Army perspective. I think Rob, I also see that Wing Commander Steve Fry is on as well. So we'll go for Steve first to give an RAF brief, and then I'll catch up with Rob Govia to see if he's going to give the brief or if Andy's on. So Steve, do you want to give any other points, mate, from your perspective?
Yeah, Hugh, thanks. Good afternoon, everybody. Wing Commander Steve Fry, Royal Air Force Reserve. I'm attached to 614 Squadron in Cardiff, I'm a Swansea boy, but I'm a reservist at the squadron in Cardiff, based at T Llewellyn in the city centre. But I'm actually mobilised at the moment, and I'm up at RAF Leeming today. But I can give you a brief update on 614 and a wider one on the Royal Air Force Reserve in the round, and all of it will take minutes for you. You'll be glad to know. 614 Squadron, commanded by Wing Commander Ollie Walker, has a couple of reservists from the squadron that live in and around Swansea and Neath Port Albert. Of the squadron's strength, there are a number of them away mobilised at the moment, supporting the regular force in Cyprus, the Falkland Islands, and around the UK. In fact, I bumped into one of them at Bryce Norton about 2 weeks ago when a good Cardiff accent yelled at me down a corridor. So that was good to see. And more widely, just really for your interest, is that the 29 reserve squadrons around the country are being restructured quite significantly at the moment, in that all of the recruiting and basic training activities are being taken from the squadron's responsibility and into a regional wing area. So I'm actually leading that project at the moment. So there will be 4 wings around the country that will be focusing on recruiting and delivering basic training for those reserve squadrons, of which, as I say, there are 29. We only have one in Wales, in Cardiff, and the next nearest one really close to the border is probably at Cosford, just up near Shrewsbury. So for our recruits in Wales, they predominantly come from the M4 corridor, and we're always looking. So if anyone knows anyone that wants to be a part-time aviator, send them my way, please. That's it, Hugh. Subject to any questions. Thank you.
That's brilliant, Steve. It's not a recruiting campaign, you know. Blinking heck. That's my piece. And this
Every
is where Rob
opportunity
Gorby
is a recruiting campaign.
That's it, mate. And this is where Rob now chips in and really steals all our chips because he's got better stuff than us. Rob, I can't see Andy on, mate. So do you want to give a quick update, buddy?
Yeah, I wasn't going to mention anything about leaving the senior service till last. That's all good with us. So pretty much what you've said, everything is getting geared up now, ready for the larger events that we're delivering at. Our resources in Wales are limited, so the more of a heads up that we get about events, the better, because literally 4 or 5 months out, our diary is absolutely chock-a-block. So the flag raising in Swansea on the 24th, that's the same day as Armed Forces Day in Newport. And as that's going to be the Welsh national event, I should imagine that that's going to drag away quite a lot of our assets and limit the attendance that we'll have at that event. Slightly further afield for you, because I think everything else has been covered off. HMS Scott, Swansea's affiliated ship, is currently in Gibraltar at the moment. They're having an operational stand down, and they've been taking part in silly things like races running up and down the mountain that they've got there. But and that's it for me.
That's brilliant, Rob. Thank you very much. Wendy, that's the MOD Armed Forces piece covered there, my dear. If there's any questions, please fire them our way.
Okay, I did think for 2 minutes there that it was the Wing Commander Fry's show. And Robert, they did the half marathon round Gibraltar. It's gone, is it?
Yeah, I got
Thank
that. No,
you.
I'm still here. Thank you.
Thank you, Hugh. Any questions for any of them? No, they talk themselves out. Agenda item 6, Swansea Bay University Health Board Armed Forces Forum. Steve is here. So Steve.
I am here, Chair. Thank you. But also my colleague Victoria Williams, I see, is here, so I won't steal her thunder. Our Armed Forces Forum meeting last took place on the 8th of February. 13 or 14 people were in the room. It was a wide-ranging agenda. Victoria talked about her veterans NHS Wales, and I won't go into detail about that. The new chair gave a very interesting presentation on the health clubs around Swansea, which was nice to hear about. In particular, that some of the veterans are now helping the civilians that we have visiting the area, that from wars around obviously Ukraine and Afghanistan, who are themselves struggling with PTSD, and our veterans are able to provide help to them. But if you would like to talk more about that, Wendy, please go ahead. We are planning in Swansea Bay Health Board a Veterans Coffee Morning. We're aiming for the 21st of June around the Armed Forces Week, and it's really a walk-in session for all of the veterans that we have, or all of those that can make it on that day, or we have working for us in the health board. As I've said to you before, we don't know exactly how many that is. We think it's quite a large number, but we're working on getting a firmer grip on that. We had an update from Peter McCarthy of the Artificial Limb Centre at Morriston, and they're doing some great work, not only for veterans there, because artificial limbs are required by other patients, but there's a good service for the veterans that we have there. Bethan was then able to join us on that occasion, and she gave us an update from all of the activities of the local fora around Northport, Talbot and Swansea Bay. And then Pete Evans talked to us about what the Welsh government have been doing in this space. And then in the health board itself, as we've said to you before, we're working on this workforce survey. We're aiming to get gold employer recognition. There are various hoops that we have to go through, but we're getting there. It was slowed down, as you've heard me say before, by the pandemic and redirection of priorities, let's say. But we're now going ahead with this, and during this year we'll have decent data. And I thought that one other thing that would be of interest to this group is that we recently, I say recently, in the last 2 weeks, we appointed a new chief operating officer. This is one of the senior roles in the health board. She sits on the executive board, on the main health board. And I mention it only because she started her working life in the armed forces. She was actually in the Royal Air Force for the first few years of her career before joining the NHS some years ago now. But it's good to see that the veteran community can go all the way through the health board, right up to the very top of the organisation. So I'll stop there, but I hope, Chair, you'll invite Victoria to come and talk about her activities with NHS Veterans Wales.
Yes, I will, and I'll be giving a talk on the coffee morning. I'm bringing the cupcakes.
Great,
So
you're very kind. Thank you.
Victoria.
Hello, Wendy. Hello, thank you, everybody. Thanks, Steve, for that. Let me just say, you know that Alec, Peter McCarthy and Alec, they've just appointed a psychologist for their service, Rebecca Antwistle, who used to work for Veterans NHS Wales. So she's going to be an excellent addition to their service. And I was really pleased to hear that she got the role. So I'm just congratulating her, not that she can hear me. In terms of our service, there's not much to report other than we've lost Rebecca O'Dowd, our other therapist. She worked 4 days a week with us. That means that we're going to get very busy very quickly. Currently, well, in the last 3 months, we've had 31 referrals, of which we've assessed 17 of those, because not everyone who refers in opts in. We've actually got 21 veterans waiting for therapy at the moment, but unfortunately that is going to grow. The waiting time for assessment is approximately 6 weeks, so I'm booked up solidly until June, and I'm just debating now whether I do more assessments, so have more people sitting on the waiting list, or carry on seeing my clients and then carry on with the number of assessments I do a week. I am waiting for, so I put the job out on the 6th of March. but we're waiting for it to be authorised because it's got to go and be job matched. So there's a delay getting the advert out. So I think that I'm not going to have anyone coming into our service. I think, well, it depends on how many months, but I'm looking at around 6 months at the moment. But there's not much I can do about that. I've done as much as I can for the time being. In terms of other news, we had our last clinical network meeting in March. That's always well attended. Anyone wants to come, they're more than welcome. We tend to prefer face-to-face, and it's a very informal meeting. It's just about getting everyone around the table, letting everyone know what we're doing. We've also started assessing clients in PRISM. So I've got my first assessment in the next couple of weeks, and they've got their own system. So we're going to just see how that works. And what else do I need to tell you? Do you know, that's probably about it. Our next clinical network will be in June. But because I'm going to be busy, we're very much kind of scaling it down and staying small. And I've just got my head down and I'm doing what I can. Any questions?
Anybody got any questions for Victoria? As always, fantastic work.
Thank you, Wendy.
No.
No?
No. You're doing the right thing then, Victoria, obviously. Okay, agenda item 7, supporting pupils from service. It's your time now, Emma Reeves.
Thank you, Wendy. Hi, everybody. So bear with me because this is the first time I'm actually going to tell you about SSE Cymru. So in the last couple of months, it has found that we are now at full capacity. So we have 4 RSLOs covering the whole of Wales, and we've still got our participation lead officer, Joe Wolfe. We're still carrying out our CPD training for all schools and other departments that want to know and get a better knowledge and understanding of service children within schools, within education, the coming in and out of schools and while parents are deployed and everything. Working with a few schools in Swansea to hopefully get the Armed Forces Friendly Schools Cymru Award. So again, that's just building on their knowledge. We've got the bronze, the silver and the gold. That helps them with the Skip Alliance toolkit. Big one for the month of April is Month of the Military Child. It's been a bit of a hard one this month because 2 weeks of this month has been the Easter holidays. So there's been lots of prep to make sure we can get in as much as we can over the next 2 weeks. As says previously, on the 25th of April, we're down in Swansea. We have got World War Wales, So Fit, Never Such Innocence and the engagement teams working with the schools in Swansea. So that's going to be my first event as well. So I'm looking forward to meeting everybody and making sure I'm doing my job right. Ruth Castle, that works within the council at Swansea, she's been working really hard to make sure children are getting involved with this. Still collecting all our data from the schools to find out what schools do have service children in and then offering more support for those schools so the children are getting their needs met. And then just to go on to my last quick one is the grant funding. So the ESF, Education Support Funding, is now closed and been awarded to schools all over the UK. But we've now got the Service Pupil Support Programme, which has come into place. It kind of took us unaware because it was launched, I think it was at the 1st of April, and the closing date for that is the 31st of May. So under this programme, the Trust will award grants for standalone projects that range between £5,000 and £80,000 for projects which support service children along their educational pathway. If anybody's interested in that, because that's partnered with the Ministry of Defence, anybody interested in that, let me know and I can send a link. Because if I am right, I know it's new, but I do believe it's open to other programmes as well, so like youth workers and everything, so people that do work with service pupils. And I think that's me. It's just, like I say, busy this week, trying to split myself between the 5 regions that I work with, doing all the Month of the Military Child events, and just going from there.
Thank you, Emma, and I'll see you next week at the event.
Yes, that'd be great.
Any questions for Emma? No, don't see anything. Thank you, Emma.
Thank you.
Okay. Agenda item 8, Fighting with Pride, Ruth Birch.
Prynhawn, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much for having me on your meetings. Some of you know me already, so I'm going to apologise because you're going to be hearing the same thing all over again. You can probably say it better than I can now, actually. Fighting with Pride is a relatively new charity. It was set up 3 years ago. It's the LGBT plus military charity. For those of you that aren't aware, up until January 2000, if you were found to be gay in the forces, you would have been hounded out, dishonourably discharged. And that meant no medals, no pension, couldn't call yourself a veteran, and never darken the military doors ever again. The reason that Fighting with Pride has been set up is because those veterans, including myself, unfortunately, have been left behind. So we're here to help and support those veterans who were dishonourably discharged. What happened last year, the end of last year, was that reports were put together. There was an independent review that was taken by Lord Etherton, and they were looking into the effects of those people who were dishonourably discharged just for being gay. So we've got the results of that. It's going to be published on the 24th of May, and there'll be a public publication of it with all the press and everything on the 8th of June at the Imperial War Museum in London, which I'm really pleased to say that I've been invited to attend. What we need from yourselves is support, and it is about rallying the troops, as they say, as in for writing to our local MPs, the Senedd, on the importance of this document. We have veterans who are homeless. We have veterans who have PTSD, complex PTSD, because of all the reasons of why they were dishonourably discharged. I haven't got time to go into a full spiel, but there is a lot of information on our website. I can also leave you details of a podcast I did a while ago that will give you some information on Fighting with Pride. But one of the other important things that we've got and that we launched in January was the Pride in Veterans Standard, PIVS. And you know what? In this day and age, it's completely free to join. So it's got to be a good thing for all you organisations out there. I'll put it's on our website, and it's the Pride in Veterans Standard. It's probably things that you're actually doing already. And you'll be able to have that logo then that shows that you offer safe support for those military veterans who are LGBT+. Because of the way they were treated by the military, a lot of veterans just won't approach the military charities. So to have our logo would be absolutely wonderful. So I'll leave you the details, and it really is a good scheme here to help and support you. What I should have said really at the beginning was that I'm the Veterans Community Worker for Wonderful Wales. So I cover all of Wales. I'm actually based in Porthcawl. I was in Swansea today and then found out that the meeting was all online, so I had to leg it back pretty quick. So I'm glad to say that I did make the meeting, and I was going to come face to face. So I'm disappointed that we haven't been able to do that. I'm also available to speak to different groups. Please, I just want to be involved in anything and everything that you're doing. And if you have any LGBT+ veterans that have made themselves aware to you, it'd be wonderful if you could pass them on my details if they want to contact me, because we've got different things going on with Fighting with Pride. We've had trips away. Very recently, a trip was funded to the World War I in Ypres, and they went to the Menin Gate. They went to France, and all around Belgium for a week. And it made such a difference. And one of the immediate feedbacks we've had off this form is that one lady actually said, I actually felt like a veteran. Now, she's actually in her 60s. So for her to have that experience and only now feel like a veteran is quite a thing. So I cannot emphasize too much the impact that the gay ban had on people and how it affected their own lives. I've got my own story as well. So perhaps I'll tell you that another time. It's quite a love story, isn't it, Steve? Isn't it, Sally? Yeah, Sally's heard it about 10 times. He can do the narration for me. We've also got as well coming up, as I'm sure you're aware, Swansea Pride on the 29th of April down the Waterfront Museum. I've got a stall down there, so I'd really look forward to meeting you all down there face to face. So Fighting with Pride will be there. Thank you so much for having me on your meeting. What questions have you got?
Thank you, Ruth, for bringing such an important issue to this meeting, and it is very important that this happens, and I'm glad you're doing and involved in this. And we have actually on the screen got Councillor Elliot King, who is a Pride organiser, so Swansea Pride organiser.
Hey.
So
Fantastic. I think Victoria's got a question for me.
Yeah, Victoria. Yeah.
Yes, please, Ruth. We have met before. I remember meeting you at an Armed Forces event with the Wave, I think it was. Would you come to our next Clinical Network meeting, please? It would be great to have you there.
Yes, of course I will. My diary is filling up a little bit, but if I can't make that first date, I'll certainly prioritise to come and see you. Yeah, I'd love to. I really would.
Coming around.
Please,
it's June or July. I can't remember the exact date, but yeah, it's around June or July.
ooh, we stand a chance. That sounds great to me. Yeah, please have you got my email? It's in the chat, but
I've emailed. As
if you
soon as you
send
put
it
your
over.
email on, I emailed you to say, can I please send people your way?
Oh, right, okay.
And then you
Yes,
answered my own
definitely.
question. If I'd been not so eager, you just said, please send people my way. So I will. The other thing, sorry to hog you. Did you say that there's a badge that we can put on our email signature? Did I?
Right, okay. There is, it's called the Pride in Veterans Standard, and it is a logo from Fighting with Pride. But you have to sign up for it, and we'll talk you through what you need to be doing. But as I said before, the majority of the agencies that we know we work with are doing it already and might just need a little bit of fine tuning, and you've got it.
Do you know, I'd like to be involved in that, please.
Yeah, definitely. I'll put the link. It's actually on our website, Fighting with Pride, and on the right hand side there's actually a Pride in Veterans Standard logo.
Got it.
It's known as PIVs. Yeah, have you got it?
Got it.
So if you click onto there, you can apply, and we will get you signed up. I would like to say that I am on a mission to get as many people in Wales signed up as possible, for those of you that work with veterans, because I also believe it's so important. And what else do you get today for free? And you get me. This has got to be a goodbye.
Ruth, I'm going to forward this on to all the other clinical leads in Wales.
Please do.
I think this is fab. Thank you very much. I shall shut up now.
No, that's fine. Thank you so much.
Phil Flower.
Hi, Ruth. I'm really interested in involving the Royal Air Force Air Cadets at your event in Swansea. Perhaps we can speak offline if we can get some sort of a display down there and encourage every member of society to play a part with the Royal Air Force Air Cadets. I'd be really keen on that.
I'd certainly like to make contact with yourself, Philip. I don't actually organise the Pride Swansea event. I've just got a stall there.
Okay, all right.
So
well,
Catherine Winter, I believe, is that correct? And Elliot, is that who's organising it all?
Yeah, can I come in, Chair? Is that all right?
Yes.
Yeah, Phil, if you want to drop me a message,
yeah,
we can have a chat about that, because that would be great.
Okay, I can't, who's that? Elliot?
Yeah.
Oh, we are great. Okay. Yeah, that's great. I'll ping you an email, Elliot. That's
Thanks,
great.
Phil. Brilliant.
Thank you. Cheers.
But Philip, if you ever want me to come and speak to the cadets, it's amazing how many people have got no idea that 23 years ago, if you were gay in the forces, you know, you'd been kicked out. So if you ever want me to come and speak to the cadets,
Yeah,
no
you know, I
worries
think
with that as
that
well.
would be, I think at any of our regional meetings, I think that would be good. Yeah. I'll have a chat with you about a few of the issues that we're sort of dealing with.
Yes, certainly. I'll help you as much as
Great.
I can.
Cheers. Thank you.
My actual, I've been with Fighting with Pride. It's for 10 months. They recruited veteran community workers for the whole of the UK. And I've been with them for 10 months. Previously, before that, I was in prison for 25 years as a prison officer. I can see the relief on some people's faces again now. I love doing that. It's brilliant. I love it. I've got to keep doing it. So I did that before, and I was heavily involved in equality and diversity. I was equality and diversity manager there, and run a lot of courses, did a lot of work with people, set up the transgender unit. So I've got quite a bit of experience in that sense. And then I was 8 years in the army before I was hounded out. So I have got quite a bit of experience going with different things. So more than happy to help out with anybody.
Thank you, Ruth. That was great.
Thank you so much.
It's okay, it's fine. Oh, Hugh, sorry. The screen.
Cheers, Wendy. Phil, I sent you an email, mate, 29th of March at 17:17. It's got all the details on here about the Swansea Pride piece, mate.
Thank you. Agenda item 9. I think it says better aid, but I don't think Tony Strutt is here.
He's not present, no, Chair. So, but the details are in the paperwork there. So I'm sure he'll come again if he's been delayed today.
Agenda item 10, update from any other panel members. Anybody got anything to say or ask? No? Phil, is your hand up again, or is it a historic one?
It's up again, and
All right, okay.
I'll send out the details in relation to forthcoming remembrance events. I know that seems a little way off, but for those volunteers that I'm working with, it's really close. So we've got in the region of about 25 events happening within the city and county of Swansea. That doesn't take in the smaller events, maybe in Gosainen and Mumbles. And obviously the Poppy Appeal is a massive focus. So we're looking for people to help with that. So it's predominantly the cadet forces that raise a lot of the money, with some volunteer groups like the Rotary and the Masons collecting in some of the superstores that we've got. But yeah, if this will come out, and if anybody can offer any assistance with any groups of individuals to help, then we'd be greatly appreciated. I think it was about 80,000 last year. Post-COVID, I think we got up to 137. So it is coming back slowly, and it is quite surprising the generosity of the general public in Swansea. But yeah, we do need to have groups. We've even got the one of the biker groups, the Outlaws, who take on Sainsbury's for us. So they seem to raise a lot of money. So I don't know whether they scare people or people just impressed, because they're all veterans with lots of medals. So you know, if you can help, that'd be greatly appreciated. So and the list will go out to Spencer, and he can disseminate that out to you. So thank you in advance.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to not give money to those because they are scary. Anybody else? No? Okay. Thank you all for attending on screen. Hopefully we'll be in person next time, and the more the merrier. If we can get in here, please do come in to the building. It would be great to see you all. So until when's the next one?
Maybe July sometime, Chair.
July. don't know what date it is, but it's July. So see you all then. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.